conference for San Francisco versus St. Mary's. San Francisco defeated St. Mary's 69-63 to advance to the semifinals against BYU. We have Coach Molly Goodenbauer and Lucia Kostic. Coach, if you wouldn't mind opening with a statement.
Sure. First, I just give tremendous credit to St. Mary's team. I thought they came out yesterday against Pacific, really engaged and great energy, great game plan, executed it really well. We knew they would come with energy today, and they did. They gave us everything we could handle, offensively and defensively, and they were really, really tough opponent. So tremendous credit to them. I thought they fought through, opt-outs and major injuries this year to come back and really play well in the tournament. For our part, I think we're glad that this first game is done with. I think, again, with players who haven't necessarily been in this position, either in a position of being in a tournament format or being in a position of not being the underdog. We've been the underdog all year. And so this was a game we were supposed to win. And I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We have kids that are really conscientious and really want to do their best and to please. And I think sometimes that can get in the way of players giving their best performances. So the good thing is that we were able to come away with a win without necessarily giving our best performance, with the exception probably of Lucia Kostic, who needs to go ice her arm after this game because we've not seen her shoot this many shots in the last 5 games. So, and we needed every single one of those points. She did a tremendous job for us out on the floor with her. She's always a phenomenal leader and does a great job of directing traffic, and her high intelligence helps us move the ball and move people. But for her to be able to score and then come away with 14 rebounds and 8 assists, she just filled all the stat lines and was a really big difference maker. And Ioana Cormelia, I know she doesn't feel like she had her best game, but she was able to come through really when we needed her and hit big shots in the fourth quarter. So these guys are young and they're learning, and win or lose in these games, these are great experiences for them. And I think help us to build a foundation for a really good team moving forward at USF.
All right, thanks, Coach. Questions? Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrato for the West Coast Conference. Lucia, congratulations. Can you just talk about your willingness to shoot the ball? I know you're the team's leading assist person. You did fill in the whole stat line. I think you had 6 steals also, but Ioana was not scoring early, and you took it upon yourself to shoot the ball. Can you just talk about what your mindset was?
Yeah, well, at this point in season, everybody knows everybody, and we have a team full of great shooters. So if I was scouting the team, I would leave me open too. And they left me open, and Ioana wasn't hitting the shots early, but she hit them when we needed her. So throughout the first half, I was open and I was shooting, so it went in. So that's good.
So you would leave you open too, but when the other team does that and leaves you open, do you feel a little insulted by it? Do you feel like I got to make them pay for this?
Yeah, it's whatever. I knew they would probably leave me open, especially when they face guard like 3 other people. They got to help off of somebody. So I was expecting it. So I was just like ready to shoot it.
And Molly, talking about Lucia, she's kind of an interior player, and yet it sort of all runs through her, it seems like. Can you just talk about what an unusual role it is for a player who seems to be more or less a forward or a center to have that kind of versatile role?
Yeah, she's, I think when you look at the value that she brings to our team, it doesn't always come up in the statistical line. But if you look at minutes played and you look at when we play our best basketball, Lucia is always on the floor. She directs us. She's like having a coach on the floor because of her tremendously high basketball IQ. She knows where people need to be and where people should have been. And her passes often put them in the place that they need to be in order for us to be effective. So we've come such a long ways since the beginning of our conference season, and our players have all developed, and they've developed together. I think we're not a team that needs to rely on one player. We have very good individual players, especially Ioana Cormelia, but we have really good team chemistry. We share the ball very well. I think we share the ball probably on 3/4 of our baskets if you look at our statistics, and that makes us harder to guard and harder to scout. And when we're able to push the ball in transition and able to share the ball, we are a very good team, and we need to continue to try to find ways to do that as we progress through this tournament.
Aside from maybe temperament, is she something of your version of Draymond Green?
Lucia is very practical, so when you asked her if she was upset by them not guarding her, I actually don't think she is. I think she just looks at it like, well, statistically, I wouldn't guard me either. It's just she's a very rational and very, intelligent decision maker out on the floor. And she's somebody that we need to have on the floor to make us be our best team.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Congrats on the
Thank
win.
you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay, we have Coach Paul Thomas and Maddie Holland from St. Mary's. Coach, if you want to go ahead with an opening statement.
Yeah, just congratulate San Francisco on a good win. To my team, one of the things I said to them right after the game was I just really appreciate their efforts this Friday and Saturday. I thought we played way better than we did the course of the year, played way better together than we were throughout the course of the year. So I was super proud of that. Got the lead in the fourth quarter. We had our opportunities and, just didn't get the shots we wanted and they didn't go in. And then we didn't make some stops and San Francisco kind of got on a little run there. And that kind of ended the game. I was pretty pleased with how we ended the game. I think time just kind of runs out on you. But San Francisco they were the better team today. They just made more shots than we did. So.
Okay, questions? Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrato for the West Coast Conference. Maddie, can you talk about when the game kind of turned there in the fourth quarter? You had like a 49-48 lead, and all of a sudden, I think they went like 12-2 on you and put you in a pretty good hole there. What do you think changed then?
I think our defensive intensity kind of was wavering at that point, and like Coach said, San Francisco is a pretty aggressive team. So they kind of jumped on. We kind of turned the ball over a bit. So we just had to stick together down the road, and we got to close it up there at the end, but couldn't really finish it.
And you guys had done a really good job limiting Kremili the whole game. When she hit that 1 3-pointer curling around the screen, were you thinking, oh, here she goes, or what?
Yeah, she's phenomenal shooter, and that was definitely in our scout. I think we kind of just had a lapse in judgment there for a second. And I think we kind of just stuck with it, didn't really get down on ourselves and try to push through.
Thank you.
Jeff, any more questions?
Sure. Paul, as you said, 2 nice performances by your team this weekend. Does it give you good feelings going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're all once our seasons are over, I think every coach is probably optimistic and has a wait till next year attitude, and I'm no different. I think we have probably all of our pieces coming back, and we're adding some very good pieces, and I'm super thrilled about that. I'm very excited. So I'm enthusiastic. It's horrible to lose, and it's horrible to lose in a situation like this. But I'm just really looking forward to hopefully playing without COVID. Although our only goal on the board today was to get tested. That was our goal today, was to get tested, because if we got tested, that means we would have won the game. So, but I'm looking forward to most of that, a COVID-free, fan-filled college basketball season.
And as much as you hate to go home at this point, is it easier to look forward when you've played well in your last 2 games like this?
Yes, it is. The proverbial taste in your mouth is like, I really do. I really feel I'm in a way better state of mind right now than I was after the Pacific game, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, if that's what you're asking, then that's the answer. And I think our team is too, and which is the most important. That's the most important. I think our team is leaving here very sad that they lost the game today, but I think they're going to feel, pretty darn good and optimistic about what they did over the weekend, and feeling pretty good about themselves.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Coach. Thanks,
All
Mike.
right. Thank you, guys.